Thanks for watching, everybody, and welcome to Poe Outdoors. I've got a review for you today of the Legacy Bow Press from Howard's Total Vise. Not too long ago, I did a review of their bow vise, which, by the way, they do vices for all kinds of things, from guitars to guns to different things. So if you're in the market for a vise, make sure you check them out. I will link them in a description down below. I'm as impressed with this vise now as I was when I did the review and when I first started using it. It's been awesome. It's holding up well. It functions perfectly. No issues whatsoever. The only suggestion I made in that review was thicker rubber inside the jaws to accommodate thinner handles on bows like from Athens and Bowtech. Jeff went ahead and started incorporating thicker rubber into this vise. So if you order one now, you won't have to do the $1.99 mod that I did. So it's very cool when a company, thing's heavy, it is solid. Very cool though when a company takes suggestions from consumers and customers and incorporates it into their design. It tells me that they want to make the best possible product for the people who are paying for it. And that's what really matters in the end. Today we're talking about the Legacy Bow Press. Just as with the vise, this thing is overbuilt, built like a tank. It's very industrial. The powder coating is flawless. It's just very well thought out. So I'm going to go through the features of it and then put a bow in it and show you how it works. And then we're going to do some subsequent videos on a couple of other components and I guess you would say additional things that this press offers. So let's get started with one of the cool features that I don't know that another press does, and that is that it will fold out of the way. Not just for storage reasons, maybe you have a narrow aisleway that you work in at your home shop or even commercially, but for safety. These things are going to be elbow and hip busters if you run into them. But Jeff thought of that, and you can loosen this arm, swing it out of the way, and you are literally inches behind the front of the counter. Just a really well thought out feature that he didn't have to do. It's additional work and additional design, but it's absolutely functional. It works. It also will swivel. Loosen this, and inside the base it'll swivel 360 degrees, which in my case is very useful for this location because I do have a cabinet right here where we keep our bows. We hang them in there. We've got totes full of all kinds of accessories, and I wouldn't be able to extend this very far, but I can just turn it like this, lock it down, and then I can extend that out as far as I need to go. To get use out of it. So if I want to remove this from the base, it just lifts out. I think I read on the website, excuse me, this thing weighs like 47 pounds. I believe it. It is really, really heavy, and I think that's a good thing. Very good thing. Again, overbuilt. Okay, couple of features. The fingers on this thing, the rubber, the durometer on that, it's very, very dense, but yet it's soft. So it's not going to damage your limbs, but it does a really, really good job of grabbing your bow. It does have the little tips here on the arm, so you can put them into Matthews scallops if you want to press a Matthews. Adjustable thumb screws where you can turn that in or out based on the angle of your limbs. It makes you adjust it properly. You can also, as you can see, remove the fingers, but you can push them all the way in. Maybe you have a bow that's not split limb and you want to push that together and press that. You have that option, which is just very, very cool. Easy to adjust just with your rubberized screws back here. You can put those in or out wherever you need them to make sure you have clearance. Now this will also accommodate crossbows. I don't have a crossbow. I don't have the tools for that, but you can use that. You can get those as an add-on, excuse me. And it's definitely something that you could do there if you were a crossbow shooter. We put this vertical bar on, which again is going the extra mile in thinking of things. What this bungee cord can be used for is when you first load your bow in, you can connect this around the string of the D-loop, and that will keep your bow from clanking around and hitting anything, hitting the cams on any metal, potentially damaging them or the string, which I think is very, very cool. You don't have to grab the string and lift it, although you can. You have that option. You can also move this down if you don't have a D-loop on your bow. We will put a bow in this in just a second, and you could wrap that around and put these on your string if you don't have a D-loop and still get to use that feature, which is very, very cool. All right, So we talked about the swivel that folds out of the way, the vertical rod, the finger construction, the adjustability. You've got a hand crank that has a magnet on the back of the press, nice comfortable round handle. It's got a 3/8 inch drive on the end, and you crank it in and out by hand, or with a 3/8 drive drill. Now I'll be honest, when I crank a bow in and out on a press, I'm very careful. I watch my limbs, I watch my cams, I watch everything to make sure everything is in track and it's supposed to be, it is where it's supposed to be. So this kind of concerned me at first, but you can turn these down to the point where you can operate them at such a slow rate that you're not going to end up hurting anything. But before I show you that, it also does have a pin. So I can pull that out and I can extend that arm way out. I believe there are 4 holes in that. So I could go way out and accommodate a target bow length for sure. In fact, I've actually had my Reckoning Gen 2 on this, which is 36 inch axle to axle, and I didn't even have to pull that pin. So you could really go out far if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit of noise here and get this extended out so we can put the bow in it and press it, and I can show you the actual function. I'm going to start going really slow just to show you. You can go pretty slow with this thing. And again, it's not a scary thing. Don't put your bow in it and just go all out. But you can see you can go pretty slow. But for the sake of time, I'm going to go faster. All right. Grab the bow. I'm going to go ahead and load it. And I want you to notice something here. When I go to put the bow in the fingers, I'm going to just barely tighten it. Now at this point is where you can go ahead and hook the bungee around a D-loop if you want, and it's going to hold your bow up. You don't have to worry about it clanking around. Very, very nice feature, okay? So I get my limbs where they need to be. And I'm only going to crank this in to where it just touches the rubber, okay? There's a half a turn past where the limbs touch the rubber, and look how solid that is. The bow's not going anywhere. That just gives you an idea of how solid the fingers hold the limbs if they're adjusted properly, and with that rubber, the durability of that, how sticky it is. Almost as a sticky, tacky component that will help you hold your bow securely. So I'm just going to go ahead and crank a little bit with a hand just so you can see it. Pull this off and go with the 3/8 drive with the drill. And I'm just going to go nice and easy. So you can see it. There you go. Easy enough. Now I can pop this off. Maybe I'm changing my string or I'm putting a twist in it. Whatever I want to do, I can do that. And your cables, whatever you need to do, any kind of work, which is a really awesome thing. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, I don't have one, but Jeff does offer a truck pedestal. So you could take this press and with a an additional adapter, you can take the vise as well, and you could hook this into your truck's hitch receiver. So say you're going out west, you're going out in the boonies where you're 3 hours from a bow shop and you accidentally nick your string with a broadhead. You don't have to take one of those little portable, in my opinion, dangerous presses. If you have this and you have the vise, you can do any work you need to do right there in camp, which is a really, really cool thing, all right? So guys, this bow is solid. It is not moving. If I want to unlock it, I want to turn it for any reason, I can do that. No concerns there whatsoever. And I'm going to go ahead and just back it out by hand. You can see how we work. And again, because of the bungee, it's held up against the fingers without any fear of my cams banging in to any metal and potentially damaging them. Set the bow down there. All right, so we talked about how it folds. We talked about the vertical arm. We showed you the 3/8 inch drive, the hand crank the truck pedestal, the base is permanently mounted, the swivel capability. There's so many things that this thing does. It also does have an included drawboard. I'm going to do a separate video on that, so look for that soon. And it also has an option of a knuckle. And what the knuckle does is it slides into the base, and then the press goes into the knuckle, and that will allow you to check your third axis at full draw, as well as your cam lean at full draw. So there are some awesome options out there from Total Vise. They have done an outstanding job building great, high quality products that, in my opinion, you're going to buy once and that's it. You will never have to worry about it again, not just because of the quality, but because they back it with a lifetime guarantee, as well as the fact it is made in Montana, USA. All right, so look for those videos coming soon of the knuckle as well as the drawboard. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you leave them down below. I will link in the description the link to get to their website. If you're in the market, if you have any questions, Jeff or Ann will reply to you in a timely manner. Make sure you email them. Great people, great customer service, and Jeff really wants to build the best products on the market, and I think he's on his way. He has done a really, really good job. This thing's a tank. I will not have to worry about another press or vise as long as I live, for sure. So thank you all for watching. Like this video if you appreciate the content. Hit that little notification bell down below. It'll let you know when we here at Poe Outdoors upload new content. Thanks for watching, everybody.